Now we'd like to invite up from Montreal, Mike Lee, the founder of Fundica.
All right. Is this working here?
It looks like.
All right. Well, thank you. My name is Mike Lee. I'm the president of Fundica. We help entrepreneurs find funding. So I have a few questions for you today. You know, where do people generally look for funding? Well, the first place people often look for anything is, of course, Google. Google is a great site, but for funding, it doesn't really know your needs or your situation. So you'll probably continue on, maybe look in some books, some CDs, online and some lists, but most of them are fragmented, and a lot of them are incomplete and out of date. So you'll probably go talk to your friends, perhaps some fellow entrepreneurs, ask them, see if they have some things. And at that point, you'll probably go to putting all this together in some kind of list on Excel and kind of, yeah, you know, you think you're there, but you'll also you'll kind of go to your advisors, and see if there's any other relevant funding you should have. So at the end of the day, you end up with fragmented, out-of-date, and often incomplete and irrelevant funding information, which is a significant waste of time for entrepreneurs, and most of all, it takes them away from really trying to run their business. So where does funding come from? Well, in Canada, it comes four different ways. We really focus on corporate funding, where there's over 2,500 programs. This can be broken down into grants, tax credits, equity and loans. And the big problem is that there's over 700 institutional corporate funders, and there are millions of entrepreneurs. So how do you get these groups to actually connect? The top 5 banks in Canada spend over $400 million annually on business development and marketing. So it's obviously a huge expense, and it's something that's not necessarily that efficient the way it's done. So how do you build a better funding search system or matching system? Well, first of all, you put together a great team. And next for us is really to establish what's important. We're really in the search area. So it needs to be comprehensive, up-to-date, relevant results, and easy to use. And to do that, we really had to leverage both the crowd and technology. We've got traditional funders, advisors, internet bots, and dedicated researchers all together to really make sure everything's comprehensive and up-to-date. Then we added entrepreneurs to make sure it works so you get relevant results. And the whole thing had to be easy to use. So let me take you through it. So this is how it works for an entrepreneur when they come in. They basically come in, fill in their profile, hit view results. These results come up, in this case, and they can go through and add some more filters and see other things that might be there. And then they go on and basically they'll get some additional information on the program if they like. So very easy to use. Where are we now? We have over 2,500 programs. Over 95% of them are up to date. Our search relevance is also 95%. We've come down to now 21 different filters. And it's easy to use. It takes under 30 seconds to actually go in and get your first profile. We've worked with a number of different partners, entrepreneurs, funders, advisors, and now we have thousands of users, and this is growing rapidly every day. So what is Fundica trying to do? We're trying to bridge effectively the funding literacy gap in our case. We hope you want to try it. If you're an entrepreneur, funder, advisor, strategic partner, thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Do we have a question from the panel? Julia, it looks like you're raring to go.
Where does the funding come from for you?
The funding comes from us. We've been bootstrapped. I've been in the funding business for over 10 years, and our funding has come principally from our business, which we were in consulting business before. But as well, we've also got some government funding. The first thing we did actually is we used the tool on ourselves, and we said, oh, look, there's some programs we didn't even know about. And so that was a nice surprise, and honestly, it was a surprise.
And going forward?
And going forward, right now, we're building out the system. Everything's going well. We're looking to work with some strategic partners going forward in Canada and ultimately into the States.
Okay, thank you, Mike Lee, Fundica.
Thank you.
And we have one more presenter.